Guys, hi. Dortmund, Ajax 1-3. We have David from Canada who watched the game as well, who has a couple of things to say about the game. So, David, take it away. Tell us, what do you think of the game?
I mean, honestly, man, it was just a wild game. You know, if I could describe it, I would say it was a roller coaster. I went into this match. I would have been content with a point, to be honest. I know a lot of people said, we have to win, or we got to win, or we should win, given what happened, a few weeks ago. But number one, Dortmund is always a very difficult stadium to play in. They have, fantastic fans. Number two, there was no way that they were going to be as bad as they were as the 4-0, which quite frankly could have been 6 or 7-0.
Yeah.
And then, first 30 minutes of the game, I say to myself, we're not going to win. I'd be thrilled if we get even a point at this point. And then, we get what I would consider a favorable call. So I'm thinking, okay, we're going to win this game.
You're not talking about the penalty, right?
Well, I mean, I absolutely don't think. Well, no, I mean the red.
You're referring to the red card, of course.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the red card. I don't think it was a red card, to be honest. I know there's a bit of debate about that. Like, yes, it was a very violent motion.
So how do you assess this one for you?
How do I assess this one? I mean, it was really a game. It was 2 games in one, because before the red card happened, I thought we were absolutely terrible. I thought Licha Martinez in particular, he wasn't responsible for us. The 1-0, of course, I thought had a shockingly bad first half. The part where he just randomly fell over, which led to a very big chance for Dortmund to score was. And the reason I say randomly is because there was no explanation for that, to be honest. It was just everybody was making uncharacteristic errors. People were not, doing 5-meter passes. People were getting caught in possession that normally are very strong on the ball. There were people that were getting caught on lazy offsides.
How much of this, David? Sorry, how much of this can you also? Maybe we should also praise Dortmund because they.
I mean, again, yeah, we did win 3-1, but I think Dortmund do deserve a lot of credit for the first 30 minutes or so. I thought the way that they really clamped down on our midfield, they were on us faster, they were taking away space. I thought they were kind of, marking, our more creative players out of the game. I thought Berghaus was pretty invisible, to be honest. I thought Tadic, especially in the first half, was. I gave him a good mark because of what happened in the second half. Was pretty invisible. I thought, maybe their plan was to have Alvarez maybe, touch the ball more because he's not great on the ball. It was just nothing was going right after 30 minutes. I was actually surprised that, we weren't losing faster than that. And they had some great chances.
So they get the red card, like you said?
Well, that's the thing. The red card changed absolutely everything. And that's why
not entirely, because we conceded the goal. After.
Well, they did, but I mean, it was a penalty, and do I think? I mean, that's another major talking point. I mean, it's weird when we win 3-1 and we're talking about the ref, but the ref played such a big impact in this game, and largely negatively, I would say, that it's impossible not to talk about the ref. So red card, I did not think was a red card. Changed the game completely. I'm sympathetic to Dortmund fans because if that game is 11-on-11, I'm not sure that we win. To be honest, the way that they came onto us was, it was not looking good for us. The penalty, I did think it was a penalty. I know maybe there's some people that disagree, and I've only seen it a couple times, but it seemed like the backswing, Noose caught his foot, he tripped over. For me, it was a clear penalty. I was shocked it even went to VAR. Pasveer, who I think had a actually pretty good game, did get a hand to it, unable to keep it out. You can't hold that against the keeper. And then. We tried to, push back as you would expect a team that's, has an extra man. We couldn't get through their defense until, I don't know what, about 70 minutes or so. Our game breakers took over. Absolutely man of the match for Anthony. He was incredible. Even in the first half where I thought we were just flat and nothing was working, just like the attacking energy that he brings. It seemed like he was one of the few players who was really having a go at, the defense. He looked the most likely to score a goal for Ajax. What can you say? He took over. And he has had an absolutely incredible Champions League run. And
do you think, David, because now what you're saying, and I also talked to Sahbi earlier about Anthony, and everybody is praising Anthony, and I also read a Mark, which you know, of course, on Twitter. I read him tweeting like Anthony has been the man of the match for Ajax in the Champions League every game.
Yeah, I was going to say about 30 seconds.
Dependable on him on the Champions League level.
Yeah, well, I mean, about 30 seconds before I came online, I liked Mark's tweet that said that, by the way. So it's funny you say that. And yeah, I mean, he's obviously outstanding in the Eredivisie, but like the way that he just turns games on their head, you know, I don't know if I would say he's been the best player in every single match, but like he has been outstanding. And Noose, who, you know, I did give a 6, who I think you might have some problems with that.
Yeah, harsh, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, anyway, I mean, he did give away a penalty that I thought was a penalty, so you have to take some marks away from that. I mean, they really bring out the best of each other. I think that, you know, they both give each other more space. The connection works really, really well. I think the last game in the league when you have Wrench step in, who I think is a very good player, and I didn't think had a bad game by any stretch of the imagination, you see the difference with Noose. And, you know, I gave him a 6 because I didn't think his final balls were that good. You know, he didn't assist. I don't even think he really created that many good chances at all. Didn't have a bad game, but, you know, the way that they just create space for one another and stuff like that, Anthony just, you know, he's been, you know, lights out good in the Champions League, and it's great to see. I mean, it's 3-1, and maybe I am being a little critical, but, you know, 4 wins. I can't even remember how many goals scored. You know, we're almost certainly going to finish top of the Champions League group. I think, you know, it's been absolutely an excellent run in the Champions League so far, and I'm excited to see how far the team goes.
Absolutely. Look, I just have 2 more questions, and that's it. The first question is, we have to mention Ten Hag. He had to deal with a situation during the match. First thing he does is he switches Alvarez off and brings in Klaas in the second half. And then he, of course, brings in Kudus for Berghuis. Those were the only 2 substitutions. Anything you want to mention about Ten Hag, how he dealt with the game?
I mean, just speaking about the first substitution, I thought the Alvarez substitution, it makes sense. I mean, you're bringing on a player that is limited offensively, and, you know, we all know how valuable Alvarez is, but when you're 10 against 11, you know, it makes sense to bring in an attacker. And
he picked up a yellow card as well.
Yeah, exactly, which was a nonsensical yellow card, if you ask me. It looked like he was pushed into a player and then knocked the player over. I mean, it shouldn't have been a yellow card for Ajax. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think that, you know, I gave Ten Hag a 6 as well, which
That's
for me is
as well, man.
Oh, because it's like the baseline. I didn't think his substitutions really changed the game. You know, I guess Klaassen scored, but at the end of the day, I mean, it was 10 against 11. Like, you know, I'm not. I don't think that Kudus or Klaassen remotely changed the game, even if, you know, Klaassen did score. But the Klaassen one, yeah, it makes sense. I have absolutely no problems with that. I kind of thought that maybe he would bring Kudus on for Alvarez first. That didn't happen, but he did eventually bring Kudus in. With regards to the subs, again, I did give Klaassen a 7 because the only thing he really did was score. And then Kudus, you know, I think a lot of fans kind of treat him as the second coming of Johan Cruyff a little bit. And I know that might not play over well, you know, because he's shown really about like 2 months of being outstanding and then hasn't come close to that since, for the most part.
But it makes sense why it's that like that. It's not like he just dropped off in terms of quality. He had.
Oh yeah, but I mean, how much time do we give him? Like I mean, I would say he's had more matches where he hasn't been impactful than he has been impactful. And yes, there's reasons for that.
Agree to disagree, man.
You'll have to have me. You'll have to have me for more for an actual Ajax talk so I can explain it.
We'll do.
Yeah. No, but I mean, Kudus, again, I gave him a 6 because, you know, I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think he was great. I thought, you know, in possession, he kept it simple, which sometimes he doesn't always do. I think sometimes he gets himself into trouble. And then other times where, you know, he tried a scissor kick when I thought maybe there was a different way to get a shot off. You know, I think sometimes he overcomplicates things a little bit. But no, at the end of the day, I mean, it was a bit of an ugly game, but 3-1, I'm absolutely thrilled. And, again, I'll say it again, I'm looking forward to just how far a team with this much depth can go.
Yeah, so my last question, exactly. I want to talk more about the Ajax team in general. So this game, but also the 3 previous games that we had in the Champions League. I mean, how do you see this Ajax evolving so far?
Yeah,
How do
I
you
mean,
read them at this
that's
point?
a question. Yeah, so that's a question that, like, I see a lot of people online asking. They're like, Ajax fans, how good is this team compared to, I think it was 18-19, or the year that we had that amazing run. And kind of like my assessment of it is that, we might not have those stars. Well, we have stars, but nobody is maybe on the level of Ziyech or De Ligt or Frankie. But at the end of the day, I mean, the best thing about this team is the depth. And, the fact that we're even able to bring players off the bench like Klaassen and Kudus, as opposed to guys like Mickey Simling and Laren Duarte. And
Yeah, you're going way back now, but yeah.
No, I know. And Leslie Tassar and stuff like that is really just like a testament to how far this team has come. And, I think this team, maybe we don't have those, world-class talents, that's debatable, maybe some players. But the depth is just, it's, I don't think, at least in my span of being an Ajax fan, so the last 10 years or so, we haven't had this level of depth. And, there's probably going to be injuries, and other teams are probably going to have injuries too as the season goes on. So, I don't know how far we're going to go. Time is only going to tell, but, it's a great feeling when, we qualify for the next round after 4 games and have almost certainly cemented the top spot too. And so much of it depends on the draw, but I'm telling you, in Munich, at the Etihad in Manchester City, they do not want to draw Ajax.
Absolutely.
And as a fan, that makes me proud, because it's been a long time coming where I've had to settle for Thursday nights against Bucharest and Legia Warsaw and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I said 2 questions, but I just came up with another one because I have to drop this one on you.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, officially, Onana is able to play games again for Ajax. Yes. I need to know your take on this one.
Yeah, this is a hot question, because I mentioned a little bit, Tasher has done very well. I think the last 4 games he's really had, basically a 7 on 10 where he's done his job, if not a little bit more. But at the end of the day, Onana is an outstanding keeper. At the time of his suspension, I would go as far as saying he was absolutely a top 10 keeper in the world. Do you bring him in right away? I don't like, what? If I'm Ten Hag, I probably talk to like the leaders on the team, and I say, what's the dressing room reception around Andre Onana? Do we support this? Is Pasveer particularly, popular in the dressing room where it might not go over well? Like, these are things that maybe as fans we don't think about as much. I mean, anybody that's played Football Manager will understand this stuff. But I'm not going to say would I do it, but if you ask me, will Onana be our starting goalkeeper by the first game of the Champions League knockout round? Absolutely, yes.